Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. We have the live show from this past Sunday night, February 16th, 2025 on tap for you today. Of course, Scotty G is back from his Disney Wish cruise last weekend. So he joins us and we take your calls. Jason calls in because we had a question about great brunch ideas over at Disney Springs, and Jason had just had an awesome brunch just today at Disney Springs. So gives a firsthand review there. And Don calls in from out on the West Coast, just back from Disneyland, gives us a great trip report from his soggy but fun trip out to Disneyland. So we have that conversation. Plus, Scott and I have a great nostalgic trip down memory lane about magic bands. Should you charge them? Remember back in the day when we got 1 million of them? And more, all coming your way on today's show. Don't forget, today's podcast always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And you can support the show on Patreon. Thank you to all of our Patreon All-Stars. You guys keep us on the air. You guys make it happen, and I can't thank you enough for that. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that, you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, February 16th, 2025. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Sunday night to you, or happy Thursday if you're checking us out on the feed. That is right. This is the Sunday night where there are no sports going on. I mean, there's no football. I guess there's a little basketball all-star game tonight, but you know, I think we're more exciting than that possibly. We play more defense here. There it is. And actually, that's actually not the shirt. There's a different one, but we are going to, I know it's an audio podcast and Scott's shooting up some pictures. I'll tell you the story of that shirt in just a second, but we are here for the next hour taking your calls at 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395, dishing the dirt on fashion when it comes to Disney floral shirts that you might want to wear in the parks, quarter zips from Disney Cruise Line, and more over the next hour. Scotty G is back. Last week I had to fly solo. So solo that we had to record on a Monday night, but we're back in the normal time slot on a Sunday night. Scott, back from the Disney Wish. Welcome back, bud. What's up?
Happy to be, actually, am I happy to be back? I don't know. It's like,
dude, no.
I've shoveled 5 times since I've been home. I'm not at sea watching beautiful sunsets and sunrises. At this time last week, I was in the bayou listening to the Wishers. Oh, man. I love you, Mike, but man, I'd love to be back on that ship right now. And I don't think you can blame me for it.
No, by the way, everybody's tuned in live. We have a lot of folks live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all over the place, Twitch, and on X. You will be getting a trip report for your Monday morning commute. It will last you all the way to Thursday, because I was talking to Scott, and it's a long one. Because 3-night cruise, super long podcast. We just could not stop talking. We talked about the Wishers and everything else, so get ready.
But you know what? The pre-shows that we do here are so much fun. I swear, it's like just behind the scenes, being Mike talking, and here we were talking about like some of our extinct Disney clothing, you know, which I love. Like I saw I'm wearing that Disney Cruise Line quarter zip, which I love, which they don't really sell anymore on Disney Cruise Line. They don't sell like the classic Mickey Captain shirt. I don't think our friend Corey's been after that one. It just kind of bums me out. Like I wish, because like they're printing money. You know what I mean? Like if they just sold all that kind of merchandise on the ship, like watch out, man. Everyone be buying that up.
Well, for like we both have on our Disney Cruise Line hats. Didn't even call each other to tell each other we're wearing these tonight. We are always on the same wavelength. I just threw this sucker on this morning when I got out of the shower. Both have on black Disney Cruise Line hats, but I have the classic one from probably about 6 or 7 years ago. Just the logo, but now they put Disney Cruise Line, like they spell it out under it. I guess they have to change it up. Maybe so you have to spend another $40 every time you sail. I don't know, but you know, I think that they should keep this one going because I like just the simple. It's like the classic Mickey, you know, hat. They don't need to make it all fancy and put a castle and all. You know, the older I get, the more simple I want my merch. I don't need all the.
I know. I
the
tried
jazz.
sending you I sent you a photo a couple years ago of a new Nike hat, and it had the castle. I was like, "Hey, man, you want me to pick this one up
I
for
said,
you?" You're
no.
like, "Nah, I'm not a
I
castle
know.
guy." I remember you saying that.
Yeah, because they had it at Disneyland. It's got the castle and it says Disneyland.
Yeah.
What I want, and I see people wearing these all the time at Disneyland, it's just the hat with the Disneyland D. And when I see those people walking around the park, I'm like, baller. Like, I need
That's my
that
favorite
hat.
hat.
But it's probably from 10 years ago. Again, I'm like,
Right.
you're a baller. I can't find
Did
that
you
hat
see
anywhere.
the hat I shared in the Discord? So I went over to the
Yes.
golf shop, and it's the happiest place on turf
Yes.
logo, but with the Mickey cart. And I got some bad news, people. I didn't even buy it because like I was just like amazed by I wanted to buy up the whole shop, but I bought like the new sweatshirt, the hoodie with the Mickey golf cart. And why didn't I spend another $25? This would have been half off because it had the buy one get one half off. Like I should go back in time. I'm an idiot. Why didn't I buy it? But
I mean, you know,
there's next time.
Exactly. It's like you're not going back. And
Exactly.
they don't, with the golf stuff, they don't change the logo too much. So you're probably
They don't. That's why I'm excited for the new logo. It looks really awesome. So if anyone hasn't seen that, go out, shoot me a message. I'll show it to you. It is super cool looking.
And we talk about this on the show, just a little spoiler, but I was like, when you came back, like you were on the plane with the golf stuff on, I'm like, dude, you were not even there that long. Like, when did you play golf? I was so confused because you were, on the plane, had the golf gear on. I'm like, and I was following you by my friends. I'm like, I know he didn't play golf. I'd have seen him on the course, at least for 9 holes. And then Mr. Solved, you swung through for the in-laws over to LBV to get some lunch. And that's how you came across the merch.
How I did it.
Yeah, good stuff. Anyway, this is what the show is. We just sit here, talk Disney, and a little merchandise. I'm not even a big merch guy, but I like my merch simple. I do. You do. I mean, I like to get. I like simple and easy. Like I like ringer Mickey tees. I like hats that are not over the top.
I like the polos because like I think it's kind of simple. Like I could wear that to work, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, Scott's wearing a nice like collar shirt for work," but like little do they know, like they don't see that like hidden little Mickey on that emblem on it. So I kind of like that. Like those that know to look for it with me, but some people just won't even notice.
Well, see, it makes sense for you to get a polo, right? Because you go into the office. I mean, I work from home, so I dress like a defensive coordinator.
Like the
so,
gym teacher.
Exactly. I mean, it's what I wanted to be when I was a 12-year-old. Like, could I get away wearing sweats every day? Yes, I'm living my best 12-year-old life every single day. Thank you, Pam Forrester. So anyway, 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. Scott, I think you had an announcement you wanted to bring to the show. Top of the hour.
So yeah, I was just gonna say, my retirement was short lived. It was about a year, but I registered for Wine and Dine race weekend. So I am.
Oh wait, hit the wrong button.
Oh,
the wrong yellow. The wrong yellow.
I was like, well, you could have hit a button that could have been really bad to go along with that statement. But yes, so I did it. So I'm excited for the new dates because it's a week earlier. That's going to be Emily's 18th birthday weekend. Oh my God, it's crazy to think she's
that's so crazy.
I mean, she basically is an adult already.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It is so nuts, but it's gonna be a lot of fun, and a lot of friends are going. And I was like, you know what? I just I need to like focus on getting in better health, and shape. I've been pretty bad the last few years, so even though I've done marathons during that time, but now I'm focused, I'm committed. And I'm ready to start that training early for Wine and Dine Half Marathon.
That's all right. So I'll call you at 5 o'clock in the morning when I get up tomorrow and get you up. Let's go.
At least that's 6 o'clock my time, so that works.
You're like, easy, brother, easy. No, that's awesome. That I love it. And I'll tell you the honest to God truth. Like I've had people book in hotel rooms like last week because of the signups. I was so confused because I'm not used to Wine and Dine being in October. True. Like, people are giving me these quotes for October and they're like, I need a room October 23rd check-in dates. I'm like, for a couple hours there, I'm like, their dates are so wrong.
Yeah, I know. It seems weird, doesn't it?
It does. It's before Halloween.
And it works out for those that, like I know our friends Jared and Stacy, they like started their annual pass on Wine and Dine weekend last year.
Nice.
And now they can go again because it's a week earlier and their annual pass will still be good. So they get 2 Wine and Dine trips out of it. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, no such luck for me. My annual pass that I got this time will expire halfway through marathon weekend. So I can get in for 2 days. I'm like,
there you go.
Well, at least it'll be a renewal.
I know. So I'm gonna have to get an annual pass, I think, for the podcast cruise, which I think people will know that I'm going on that too.
Yes, so. I know. Let's go. Disney
all sorts
magic.
Of announcements.
Yes. We're gonna have, so that's coming up in 140 days from tonight. We'll be on that.
So we gotta celebrate Emily. That's gonna be, I mean, obviously the podcast cruise, but that is gonna be like her graduate. I mean, she would be like a month graduated at that point. So big celebrations for Emily, but still can't go with Apollo because she'll still be 17.
That is crazy. I know. We'll have a good time. We'll make it. Well, man, we are gonna have. I cannot wait to be on that trip. And the thing is, I just keep, because I'm doing like research about I'm not like spoiling myself too much, but I just keep hearing how the Magic is. When people get off the Magic, they love the Magic. It's the obviously oldest ship in the fleet, the original, but people just say it does not show its age, and it is such a great ship. So that's
what we're worried about, is like how small it's going to be. You know, will there be enough entertainment? That's what Emily's been saying. I'm like, oh, there's going to be plenty to do, and plus we're going to Castaway and Lighthouse Point. Maybe we'll do an excursion on Nassau because we haven't done that in a while. So we'll have plenty to do for 5 nights. It's going to be awesome.
We make our own, and it goes fast because you got all the tastings and all.
I know. What got me crazy? So I booked deck 7, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. 4 flights of stairs to get to Cabanas. No, it's 2 flights because Cabanas is on deck 9.
Yeah, I know. The OG ships only have 11 decks. I know. Like it's
Like how is that possible? And then like it's like Pinocchio's Pizza or something, and like
Goofy's or Pluto's. I haven't looked at it in a while, but one of them's like Pluto's something house. That might be the Wonder.
But the restaurants, because of the dry dock, so now it's like I think it's like a Rapunzel restaurant or something. Yep. So that's gonna be really cool. And I think their animators is really cool because that's the one that like
black and white.
Like I'm so excited for that. It's gonna be awesome.
I remember that from way back in the day. That is super cool. Yeah, it's like it's awesome. All right, so tonight I thought we might have a couple topics we bring to the table, but you guys can talk about whatever you want. We need some calls here. Get ask Scott about his cruise if you're curious about what it's like. I thought maybe we could talk about how to make the most of a holiday weekend as we are in right now for President's Day weekend, or if you've ever gone down over MLK weekend to kind of, Scott's always had that hack of turning a 3-day work weekend into like a 5-day vacation to make the most of that PTO. So, or whatever it is.
I've been there a lot over President's Weekend, just not this year. But,
it's busy, but you always make it work to make the vacation days kind of stretch the dollar on those. So I thought we might talk about that. New popcorn bucket was released this week. We saw the carousel there. It looks like it spins. Looks like it's a hot item. So what do you think about popcorn buckets? We've kind of talked about that in the past. Anything you want to bring to the table here before we get some calls?
I mean, those all sound really good. Like, I'm just big on cruising right now. But then, like, I'm just thinking about that cruise that you booked. You have the date you have. Like, I was looking at it closely. Is like a perfect balance for like adding 2 nights on before and 2 nights after at Walt Disney World, because it's 4th of July weekend before. So if you don't work, you can get down like on the 3rd or the 4th, and then you sail away. So you got a couple days at World, and then you sail away for 5 days. You come back on a Friday. Like, who wants to go back home on a Friday, like take advantage of the weekend? So like I'm excited to have to like do like a 2-3 days up front, 2 days after, plus a 5-night cruise. Like, this vacation is gonna be awesome. I'm so excited to plan it.
Yeah, it's almost 2 years ago and we decided on this actual sailing for the podcast cruise, and it had to fit a certain criteria. Like, we want to do a new ship, we wanted to go to the new island we're going to look out. So that's something totally new. And it's really cool because it sails Monday to Friday. So I
love that.
So you get the 2 weekends, like, on either end, and it has the holiday too. So that's, for time off of work. So the
craziest one we did was the Fantasy, when we did the 7-night sailing in the Fantasy, because a lot of us went down like a couple nights before. Then Mike, our family's got a 2-bedroom at Old Key West for 7 nights. I mean, we were down there like 17 nights or something crazy like that when you consider the cruise. I had never had such a long Walt Disney World / cruise line vacation. It was awesome.
That was the best. Like, I don't know if I could get away with being out of the office that long anymore.
I know. I know, me neither.
I mean, we took a residency, and that was like the greatest trip ever.
That was when the minivans came out for free. Remember that? So we were taking minivans all over property.
They were free. I know. We had minivans for free, and they were first come, first serve. Like, you could get them on the app. So what you had to do was, like, we heard rumors they were only at certain resorts because they were like doing dry runs and stuff. So we would camp out. Literally, we would kind of like stake out in front of like that porte cochere or whatever they call it. And, a couple other families were like onto it too. And so we just kind of casually like, what are you doing? And
we keep seeing the same families all week.
I know. What are you doing? Nothing. And so we'd see it come up and we'd all kind of jockey for position. Then we just used Mallory and Emily to kind of like be the cute girls and like get out there in front of it. And then we got in. So it was really cool. It was fun.
That was fun. That was fun. That was a fun trip. All trips are fun, man. It's so much fun. And I can't wait to go cruising again. You and I have not cruised together
in ages. It's been
since the last podcast cruise. So, but it feels like ages ago almost.
It's too long ago. And Ricky will be back to record this week. She just got off the fantasy, so we'll hear about that. Deanna over on Instagram says they're doing 2 nights at the Grand Floridian before the cruise and 1 night at Old Key West after. I like that.
Nice.
That is the way to go.
I was trying to figure out. I might do Riviera after the cruise.
The Riv.
The Riv.
I just got to call it that.
You're talking about the bar in East Lansing?
Because of your dive bar there. That place looked real fancy.
Burgerama, baby, on Thursdays.
Burgerama. Okay, so I don't know if the phone lines are not working or if people just don't like us tonight.
Have you thought about where you're staying? Like what you're doing for that?
I got to think about that. Dude, I just booked my room to go down for the Give Kids the World thing 2 days ago. And my dad still has not booked a plane ticket, which he's driving me nuts because he's got to be back for church on Sunday. And I'm like, dude, a plane ticket's getting super expensive. I need to know. Like, let's go. Because he's going home Saturday night right after the show. Because he's got to play, because he plays drums at church. So he's the drummer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he's got to be home Sunday morning. So I told him, like, we stick around. We usually do dinner after the show on Saturday night. So I'm coming home Sunday morning. But I was like, if you want to come home Saturday night right after, I get it. Because, you know, he's been out of town because of the Rams and all that other stuff. And he did spring training this week down in Jupiter. So he's been out of town. But, and I'm glad he's coming down to help us with the show. But I'm always last minute. So we'll probably end up wherever. Probably Coronado.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, that's where I stayed most of my nights, and I was just there, and it's so lovely. We have a great food question, Mike, in the chat.
Is this it? All right, let's take it again. If you have a phone call, or if you want to be a part of the show, I don't know if phone lines aren't working or what, but give us a call 47413.
We'll fill the time.
We will. But, yeah. I mean, we will, but I mean, it's the open line. Let's see. Sean says we just booked a 1-bedroom at the Riv for September 23rd to the 30th. We are rarely there over the weekend. We're thinking about trying a weekend brunch at Disney Springs. Any recommendations?
Oh, there's the phone calls.
For weekend brunch at the Springs. All right. Let me answer this call. Then we are going to get to Sean's answer as we stew on that because I have an idea of it. I haven't been to, but it used to be really popular. All right, caller. Hey, who do we have?
What's up, boys? It's Jason. I had to call in and make sure the phone lines were.
Jason can answer this question based on what he did today.
Oh, exactly. You know what? He's perfect. Exactly. So we need a recommendation for a brunch at Disney Springs for Mr. Sean Miranda over on Facebook. And I know you have one.
Oh, Sean, I have the perfect answer for you because we just had weekend brunch at Disney Springs. It's Raglan Road. Oh my God. That French toast was the best French toast I've ever had in my life. It was unbelievable. The bacon was good. Fern, did you like your pancakes?
I did enjoy my pancakes, but not to say Raglan Road wasn't great. But I do love Summer House on the Lake for a nice brunch, too.
Okay, that's fair, too. But, man, Raglan Road was really good. That was impressive.
Yeah, it looked really good. And, like, I'm not the biggest homecoming fan, but I love homecoming brunch. Like, that meal is so good. It's hard to get, but that was going to be my recommendation. If we're specifically talking Disney Springs, because you could take the boat down a little bit further and go to Old Key West, Olivia's, and they have an awesome weekend brunch too.
They do. Now I
was just going to say that I love going to Olivia's for brunch.
Yes. Now here, I don't know because you guys are down there more than I'm at Disney Springs, obviously. Do they still do? And I don't think they do. But back in the day, they used to do that House of Blues Sunday Gospel brunch. Do they still do that? They used to be really popular.
You know, I think I've seen it. I will once in a while check the events at House of Blues, and I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but we've never gone, or I guess I've never thought anything of it. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I guess I've never really seen it.
Yeah. I have to go check again.
People used to love that. I mean, would rave about it. I mean, now you didn't have to be like a real big church person either. Like, just it was a cool experience. People really liked it. We just something you might just throw out there. I know people used to like it, but yeah, those are
William, I'm not the biggest homecoming fan. I love our chat, and William is awesome, but like, I think it's just overly hyped. I think it's just like how people react to it is what gets me a little bit. I like those like low key under the radar things most of the time, so it's good. I just think it's like just too much hype behind homecoming. But the brunch though, oh my gosh, like the Hallelujah biscuit, the bacon old fashioned. Oh my God, it's so good. Man, I wish I was at Disney Springs right now for dinner.
So Jason,
There's so many good
real quick,
on
somebody was
property.
asking over in the clubhouse today about that, like the atmosphere of Raglan Road today during the brunch. So you had some live entertainment, like they came out and like took breaks and stuff. So what was the atmosphere like besides the food?
Yeah, so we sat inside, and it felt like maybe every 20 minutes or so, they would have a little band come out, and they would play a song or two, and then they would have like one or two dancers come out, and they would do a little Irish dance. It wasn't like too loud or like too overbearing, so you could still talk to your family or whoever you're with. So it was kind of nice. And it just had that. I had never been into Raglan Road before then, so I didn't know how big it was. But yeah, that atmosphere was great. Food was great. I was impressed.
Yeah, the vibes were nice. Not to disagree with Jason, but I did think it was a little loud. But it was still very nice. It was a good time.
Yeah.
If it wasn't loud, it really wouldn't be an Irish place, though. Really, I mean,
Right.
Right.
I've been there a couple times. It's been a long time though, but I thought it was pretty cool. Like it was kind of what I expected, right? Because there were dancers and we were kind of in this big booth. I was there actually with Phil Scheingold, and it was just it was a lot of fun. And I think I got bangers and mash. Is that like a thing? Is that the thing they have there? Because I just got want to get the traditional thing. I didn't even know what I was eating, but it was good. It was good. Yeah.
Side note, I've been to Raglan Road twice, both times with Phil Scheingold.
That's probably with you that time.
I mean, that's why. I mean, Phil is the most interesting man.
Yes. Oh yeah, 100%. Dude, that's 100% true. Yes.
He's just everywhere.
Yes, he is. We love Phil. So that's cool. So what else you guys up to?
Yeah, I mean, Vern had to work, but I just kind of hung around. I was with my mom and uncle, so we just kind of walked around Disney Springs. It was their first time, or at least my aunt and uncle, their first time at Disney Springs in a long time. So it was nice to kind of walk around and go to all the shops and show them what we have. So yeah, that was pretty much the day. It was nice.
Much better than where we are.
I mean, I wish I could be a local and just have like a chill,
Same.
like nice Sunday like that. Sounds awesome.
I know. I didn't want to brag, but it was like, I think it was like low 80s and windy. So it kind of just felt like you had a fan on you at all times. So pretty nice, pretty comfortable outside.
So are the boats running? Because like I booked Old Key West this week for October, and that sounds kind of like a funny sentence, but so I was looking up ahead, and like I got that alert that like, oh, the boats won't be running to Old Key West or something during these dates, and it started like February 10th. Did you notice if like all the boats were like that, or did you see any boat transportation?
That's interesting because we saw the boats running from Disney Springs to the resorts. We saw the AMPA cars. So everything was on the water. So that was.
I wonder if they're working like on the dock there or something. It could be something like that. So.
Yeah, it might be something like they're working on the docks or something. But it was really windy today, but everything was kind of running as is. So nothing out of the ordinary.
He said it was breezy and 80, and they had like a fan. It's going to be so. The wind chill is going to be 15 below here in like 24 hours.
I disregarded that comment. As you can tell.
I didn't want to brag.
Yeah, I know. My finger was on the hang up button so close right there. But I love Jason and Vern, so I did not do that. But it's going to be like you take 2 steps outside and you can't breathe. And Wade's in the chat. He knows. He's up in Nebraska. Like none of us will be able to breathe at 10 steps outside our door in a second.
I don't even know what that feels like. So.
I legitimately have never been in that kind of way.
You never want to be. You're winning at life because it's not cool.
but Raglan Road is getting a lot of love. Wade's giving some love to that.
Yes,
and the times I've been there, I really have enjoyed it. It's just one that's never like top of my mind.
Same.
I need to change that up a little bit.
It's always busy though. Like when I go by,
it is busy. Yeah. It's lively in there.
It was pretty busy. Yeah.
It was cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah, but we had to go because my uncle is very. I mean, we're Irish, and he's very proud of that Irish heritage. So that was top of the list. That was we weren't going to go anywhere else.
Well, sounds like a good day. We appreciate the feedback, and thanks for calling in.
And and I liked your happy Valentine's Day. The beaches and cream. I liked. I like that idea for Valentine's Day. Very, very well done with that. What was it like? One Sunday, 2 straws, Mike? Is that what we used to say like back in the day?
Oh yeah, totally. 100%. But well, wait, real quick before we cut Jason loose though, dude, he didn't like the No Way Jose. It was not top of his list.
I like the other one better. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry to Ricky. I don't mean to do that to her, but Vern liked the
I thought the No Way Jose was much better than the the fudge mudslide?
I think it was like the mudslide.
Yeah,
I mean that's painful to me.
It was delicious.
Jason, don't even worry about Ricky. You're letting your boy down here.
I do like the No Way Jose myself. You got all three of us.
Do you remember that one year when I got one to
go?
go?
Yes. Dude, okay, let me just tell you. Dude carried a No Way Jose all around Coronado Springs, all through the business center, because we were going after a package. I can't remember, we had a package and we couldn't find it. We went to Bell Services and then it wasn't there. Then we had to go to the business center. Dude's carrying a full on, this is in the summer too. Full on No Way Jose, it's melting. So we're trying to eat it on the run because you don't want to waste it. It is going everywhere. I mean, a big old No Way Jose.
But my hack is not that I don't like chocolate. I mean, chocolate is good, but I think if you do it with chocolate ice cream, it's just too much chocolate. So I gotta do vanilla ice cream and keep everything else the same.
Oh no, wait, that wouldn't have been Coronado. That'd have been the yacht club because
we were going to. Yeah,
we weren't that far away. Yeah,
so
where were we? We were one of those hotels that
we were staying at the boardwalk, I think. So we walked over. And
we went. Yeah, we it wasn't that far, but we went a long way. We were
walking all over the place
because it was in the summer. We had gone a mile, and you were carrying a big old ice cream with. Oh my god, it was such a mess.
What it was too. Not that we need to go down this path. Your family wanted to go to Ample Hills. That's RIP. That's when Ample Hills was still around. And I was like, no. I need to have my No Way Jose. So then we stopped there first, and it's just dripping all over me, 110 degrees outside. Just an awful idea.
That was all right. God, we do stupid stuff. That's us.
We do. It's fun that we have fun.
Oh God, we always have fun. We do stupid stuff just constantly, but it makes it fun. Well, hey, we appreciate you guys, and thanks for calling in with the great feedback because that'll definitely help Sean.
Of course.
Always happy to call in. And we're happy to see you in March, Mike.
We'll see you soon. All right, we'll catch you over in the clubhouse.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
See you. Have a good week.
All right, bye-bye. And let's see here. We had something else too. Sean was asking about, have you ever done the brunch at Boathouse? I've never done that.
I have not, but I think it's really good because I think there's live music there too. If my boy Jared was on the chat, he'd jump in on that. But exactly. I've heard nothing but really good things about that brunch. It's never worked out for me for whatever reason. I love Boathouse too. So so many things, Mike. I need to start adding some new experiences to my list. People are like, oh, you go to Disney all the time. You've done everything. Not even close.
I know. We've done a lot, but not everything. Let's see here. Steven says, I have an observation for discussion. The Walt Disney World Resort's getting a little less themed. We're going to see no Tower, the Riv, the Island Tower, Lakeshore Lodge, and Disney Cruise Line ships are getting more themed. The Wish, the Treasure, the Destiny. Interesting and a little odd to go in two opposite directions. I think that's a fair observation, honestly, to be I
think the Riviera is very themed though.
But I think he makes a point though, in the rooms say, well, it's more subtle.
You got
it's more subtle.
The studios of the Riviera, you got the 101 Dalmatians all over the room. Then you got Remy all over the one bedrooms. I love all that art,
good discussion.
That's happening in the Riviera. So I personally think the Riviera is really well themed and has those Disney touches because there's art of Walt Disney even all over that resort in his travels through the Mediterranean. So I don't know. I kind of see what they're saying though, because Disney Cruise Line is obviously bumping up their game a little bit with these most recent ships, but I think there's theme all around.
I think here's what I think. I think what Steven's maybe saying, Disney Cruise Line is not scared to go dark woods and really deep colors, browns and oranges and deep dark woods. You see that especially on the Treasure, where I think the Disney Walt Disney World hotels now are a lot of off whites and whites, even though they have art and stuff, kind of subtle art. They're going more that it's not plain, but it's not like the 90s where it was really bright colors and boom. They're moving away from that kind of 90s, 2000s aesthetic where everything was bright. Even Animal Kingdom Lodge was super, and Wilderness Lodge. Those rooms were really, really dark, which I like that, but I don't think Disney does that anymore. They're kind of switching it up, making it more light. Even at the Polynesian, they did that with the Moana rooms. They're really themed, but it's more subtle than it used to be. It was more oranges and browns.
I agree. I like those Moana rooms. Those are nice.
That's a good observation, though. Yeah,
Yeah, I like
because
the
they're really
observation.
going all in on theme on these new ships. Let's see here. We have some questions over here, which we will take until we get our next call at 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. JP over on Instagram is asking if you did make it over to Beaches and Cream on your last trip, Scott. Did you? No.
I wanted to because I wanted to see Ella, which shout out.
Oh, yes. We got to give a shout out to Ella.
Huge congratulations to Ella on the engagement. And I saw because I believe she's working at Beaches and Cream, right?
She is.
That's part of her college program.
Yes.
And then they celebrated at Beaches and Cream,
Heck
which
yeah.
is perfect afterwards.
And Epcot. That's where I think the question was asked.
But yeah, I really wanted to get over there, but it was just not enough time. You know, like you get off the ship and then we wanted to go swimming for a little bit. Emily had been craving Sanaa, which is awesome. I love that kid. Like she's like, I've been really wanting some Sanaa. Like I love that chicken, and rice. So we went over there. Obviously got a naan bread.
I was gonna say you got the bread, right? Yeah. Oh, I love that stuff.
I said to Liz, I love the Sanaa burger is really good. They used to have a bison burger at Sanaa for lunch. Oh my god, that was so good. But you can still get it at Geyser Point. But the Sanaa burger is really good, and you only get that at lunch. But I was saying to Liz, like I could just do my own bread for myself, honestly, and I would just be so satisfied. I
wonder if he buys. You're right. I could too, because just the breads and the dips, I'd be like, I'm good, because then I could just go get something later. In a few hours.
Sanaa has a really pretty bar, so you walk in and you go to the left a little bit. It's kind of tucked away in the corner, so it's away from the windows with all the animals, but it's this really nice dark bar area. I could totally see myself going up there, if I was by myself, and just go
belly
to the
it
bar,
up. Give me the bread.
Get a drink and some bread. That sounds like a fun afternoon.
That sounds like a really good night. Yeah, I'd be stuffed, but that'd be really, really good. All right, 407-413-9395. Shout out to Lynn Shan Run Disney over on Instagram who just joined us. Glad that you're here. Let's see. Jessica has a question about Magic Kingdom fireworks cruises. We've done those. Well, have you done one? I know I've done a bunch. I've actually done 3 or 4 Magic Kingdom fireworks cruises.
I did an Illuminations one, and then we did the Grand one. That
yes,
awesome.
We did the yacht.
Pam's 50th. I know.
That was awesome.
But totally it kind of gives you the same perspective, where the boats would be in the water. So, because we had the pontoons around us and everything, and it seems really cool. I don't know, Mike, can you speak on the cost? Would you find that worth it?
So if you break it down cost, so I've done the pontoon one, right? And also for the Magic Kingdom, we did it with the Magic for Less, at a training one time, and it was at Christmas time. It was really cold that night. That's the only thing I watch. At certain times of the year, it can be super cold out on the water, but most times of the year you're fine. And they give you blankets, they bring blankets throw over your legs and stuff. But because it costs per boat. So if you get, say you get 2 or 3 families together, if I get my family with Scott's family with Pam Forrester's family and we break it up 3 ways for 12 people, then it's super affordable, right? But if I just take my family, and the boat holds, I think 12, and there's only 4 of us, then it is a little bit more costly, obviously, per person. But we've done it where we've, taken 12 people and broken it up 3 ways, and it's super, because it's a VIP experience. You're out there, you got your own boat, you got some sodas. It's an amazing view. You get to hear the music. It's really cool. So if you can fill the boat and kind of break it up a couple ways, totally affordable and great experience. I love it. It's a really cool perspective on things.
Yeah, I want to try that. Liz always talks about just renting a pontoon because you can do that at Bay Lake. You can just rent the pontoon, I believe. That could be kind of fun to do.
William says he doesn't see the Grand One at the Grand Floridian anymore.
Oh, no.
That's probably just getting refurbished. I'm sure.
It's in dry dock.
Maybe.
They're adding a Haunted Mansion bar to it. Yeah. Could you imagine? They had a little cool theme bar that out there.
That thing was fun because it was hard to find something fun for Pam Forrester that she hadn't done at Walt Disney World, right? For her, it was her big birthday. And so Steve, was trying to find something fun, got us all together. He's like, yeah, we got the Grand One. So we're all going to, go out and do a fireworks cruise. Of course, Scott and I and all of us are like, let's go, because we want to check off our list of things that we thought we'd never, ever get to do, it's just us. So we're like, we get to go on the Grand One. Heck yeah, let's go. So we go on this thing. And I was shocked because that thing has bedrooms on it. We were taking pictures on the beds,
quarters,
captain's quarters. That thing is wild. It was crazy.
Awesome.
It had, an upper
I felt
deck.
guilty because my girls, like Emily, got really sick, so Elizabeth and Emily ended up not going, and I almost just bailed too. Just said, "Here's the money, Steve. Like I'm out." But Liz was like, "No, one of us has to experience it."
I'll have to
I was
post
like,
that
"Oh,"
picture.
and then that was all the convincing it took. I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going."
I'll post a picture of the clubhouse, the one of you laying on the bed, dude. It's the best. It can be captain's hat.
I love the one of Steve on the bed too.
Yes,
So
I'll
great.
post it.
It's
I'll
like,
post it. We had a great time that night. All
I
right, we have
think
our
I've
next
heard
call.
that Joe took it because the lizard just did this one year, and I think Joe took a shower in there or something.
No
It's
way,
just so funny.
dude. That is crazy. I didn't go that far. All right, we have a caller on the line who's joining us.
Hey there, hi there, ho there.
What's going
This is
on,
from
Don?
Seattle.
Hey, what's up?
Just got back from Disneyland
Lucky.
last night.
Oh.
It was a wet week.
Oh, no. Hate to hear that.
It was, especially on Thursday. I went on Tiana's. Just the hems of my, the cuffs of my pants were wet afterwards. 3:00, a 3-minute rainstorm came through, and I was soaked everywhere, completely dripping.
I mean, that sounds like
was a
Tiana's
wet week.
alone right
That's
there.
what I'm saying. I mean, everybody gets off that thing. Looks like they got in a 3:00 thunderstorm. So, I mean,
Yeah, no, I got off it. I was pretty much dry. It was the rain that got me.
So, what were some of the
yeah.
what were some of the highlights from the trip besides getting soaked? What was good about the trip?
Well, the highlights were really some of the character interactions and such. I did my Mr. Incredible Disney Bound on Tuesday, and the last girl in Mr. Incredible really responded to that.
Nice.
I suspect they don't get many of those. And then other than that, it was just, really some of the food for the Lunar New Year festival, things like that.
Yeah.
It was a really sort of relaxed. We went into this one just not going to run around and do a lot of stuff. We were just going in relaxed, and
Nice.
that was a good thing.
I like that.
Stayed at a hotel across the street, which just made getting there so much easier. So
That's what I was going to ask. So where'd you end up staying, Don?
what's that?
That's what I was going to ask. Which hotel, if you don't mind sharing?
We stayed at the Parkview Inn, and so having stayed at some of these, lesser hotels, quote unquote, I go in with a very low expectation. I was really, really happy with it. The room was huge. We stayed in a deluxe, not the lowest end room, but a deluxe king, and
Nice.
huge room. It was nice. I mean, it was dated, but it was like literally, it was the second closest hotel to the park entrance. You could just stand in the lobby and just look at the crosswalk, 50 feet away. And the bed was comfortable. It was, clean. It was nice. The only problem was, of course, with the rain, we did have a little leakage through underneath the door.
Oh, no.
On Thursday.
California.
I'm noticing. I like how you said that it was. Well, I mean, I don't like that it was dated, but like my go-to Good Neighbor Hotel is also. I was telling Mike this the other day. It's starting to feel a little dated. So I feel like those Good Neighbor hotels. Maybe we need to see some more refurbishments coming. I don't know, but I feel like some of those are starting to feel a little more dated these days.
Yeah, well, it's an older hotel, and I think they go in to say, okay, we can put this much money in, and now we're competing on we have to start charging more to pay for that. Now we're competing with these other hotels, and so it was
Tough business decision.
Yeah. I
they
think most people
sort of have to. They sort of have to balance how much they put in versus bringing in the people who don't want to spend the biggest money, but it had a microwave, it had a nice refrigerator with a freezer on it. It had enough outlet. It had more outlets than I'd been in any of the hotels in that area yet. So all my electronics, because I'm an electronics guy, I could plug them all in, and I did like the fact that the TV wasn't locked down, so I plugged in my Fire TV so I could watch something in the evening. And
That's great.
So a lot of hotels, they lock down the TV so you can't plug anything into them.
Yeah, it's true.
So
did you guys use like Lightning Lane or anything like that in the parks, or like how'd you manage doing what you wanted to do?
We did on which day did we do that? So we did on Wednesday, and we might really not have needed to. The parks weren't all that crowded, but it just since my wife has some mobility issues these days, it just which makes standing in line problematic. I got Lightning Lane to say, okay, little less standing, which was fine. The biggest thing I like, one of the things I really like about Lightning Lane and Disneyland, it comes with the photo pass.
Yes.
As part of it. Unfortunately, with all the rain, there weren't a lot of photo pass.
Oh, no.
So saw a few of them at the beginning, and then later in the day, they were all gone. So
yeah.
So
that stinks.
That was sort of a little bit of a bummer on it, but that was good enough. We got we made use of our Disney Visa photo pass with Darth Vader on Thursday.
I did that.
Then we went to the after hours Sweetheart event, but that too was a lot of the stuff was sort of rained out on it. A lot of the character interactions were rained out because they don't want their characters standing out in the rain, in those costumes that they'll probably have to then toss and.
Yeah, I understand that, but man, that's such a drag. That's such a bummer.
Yeah. So, but we still had a good time, and my wife said she'd want to do it again, despite the, she had a good time at it anyway.
And you guys had the right attitude. That's what it's all about, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I convinced her this. So I'm a go for the sort of ambiance and do some stuff, and there's some things I want to do, but that's fine. And she's a FOMO kind of person. She wants to do all the things. And I convinced her to go a little more easy this time.
That's so funny that she's that way. You guys are like the opposite, right? Like, you're the big Disney guy, but like she wants to see it all, do it all.
I would. That's cool. I mean, I would sit on Main Street and just people watch.
Same. Yeah. So real quick though, Disneyland, did you have what was your favorite snack or meal? Because I love the dining options out there and the snacks.
Well, what was it? It was one of the Lunar New Year. What was that Lunar New Year? It was can't remember what it was called, but it was over near the Monsters Inc. ride, and it was I can't remember what it was called, some kind of taco thing that was there. I could actually look it up, but that was actually our favorite of the Lunar New Year snacks. But of course, that's going away here, or it's gone by now. But we did a bunch of that, and then we just did. We didn't do a lot of big meals. We did a character meal on Thursday, and saw Chip and Dale and Daisy and Duck and Minnie Mouse and everything, and Pluto and everything. That was all fun. So that was all. We had not ever done that one, so that was fun. And then we just hung out and took a nap right before we went to the Sweethearts night because we're old.
I would like to. I'd like to do that too. That's just like because it's like nostalgic, right? It's like takes you back to almost like date night at Disneyland on Friday nights from back in the like 50s and 60s. I'd like or whenever that was. That'd be so cool. But well, maybe the weather will be better next time at least. I hope.
Yeah, and then we tacked on an extra day. And Friday we went off to Universal.
How's that at Hollywood?
Oh, it is. I mean, it's small. It's much smaller. It's, much more compact, except for that, big old slope where you go down 4 different escalators to get to the bottom lot. We went into the Nintendo World and checked that out, and then had speaking of snacks, we ate at the Toadstool Cafe and had the best mushroom soup I have ever had in my life. It was phenomenal.
Sounds good.
I don't like mushrooms.
I love mushrooms.
What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you?
I mean, they grow in my yard. I'm trying to kill them all the time. No thanks.
Well, you don't eat those mushrooms. That's your problem there. Don't eat those mushrooms.
I'm not sure about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So but yeah, that was fun. And once again, we were sort of taking it easy. We did rides, and that wasn't very crowded. A lot of them were just walk-ons and such. And I got to meet Shaggy and Scooby and Velma, so that was a great character interaction.
That's awesome. That's
really good. And in some ways, the character interactions at Universal are even a step above the ones at Disney. When you get them, they're really into it. They just do a really good job with those.
What I think I noticed with Universal versus Disney as far as characters is like they're like more irreverent at Universal, right? They don't have to be as protective of the brand. I feel, you know what I'm saying? Like Scooby can feel like, or Shaggy, you know, he can come out and act like he just, you know, smoked a doob, you know, like, and he's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in character. Like it was the 70s. It was a cartoon in the 70s. Like that's Shaggy. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not getting that on Main Street USA. You know what I mean? It's just how it is, you know? So yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think there's not as much protection.
We had a great interaction with the citizens of New York up in the windows.
Yeah.
Shouting back and forth with them and talking with them. And at the end of the night, the wife unit went in, got to interact with Beetlejuice.
Yeah, there you go.
Another wild character right there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, you know, it's like the Blues Brothers. Yeah, William said what I meant to say. He says they don't seem to have the same character integrity. That's what I meant to say. I just said it like a really bad way.
What would be the closest Disney character you've seen that's like that? Would it be like Gaston, maybe? Like
yeah,
in the day? Like,
or like Cruella de Vil, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Or like the Stepsisters.
Oh yeah,
maybe,
they're
possibly
at 1900 back in the day.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still, that's kind of on brand for them. But yeah, it's still very protected.
So, yeah, it was. But yeah, just taking it easy, and we had you know, a lot of, you know, one of my favorites, the Small World, was down for refurbishment.
Yeah, I know. It was down when I was there too. I was bummed about that. They're putting in that new song, that new verse from the Sherman Brothers song.
Yeah. The thing is, we did hit Haunted Mansion, and it looked more vibrant.
Agreed.
To me. I mean, the downtime they took, they seemed to really, you know, bring it to life a little bit more.
But here's the thing, like people were going crazy about the bride, like now not having a hatchet and like having a heart. I mean, if I wouldn't have paid, like I wouldn't have noticed. Yeah, like I don't pay, maybe I don't pay that close attention, but like if there would have been all the social media outcry about that, I'd have gone right past there. Just been like, there's the bride. Like I wouldn't like, oh, she shouldn't have a hatchet. She has a beating heart. Like, but the thing that I like, and was this, I don't even, people help me out here. The shadow that plays the piano right before the bride, there's like a shadow and there's like somebody playing the piano, like I think it's playing like Here Comes the Bride. Is that always been there?
The shadow?
There's like a it looks like a ghost playing the piano, right?
Yeah.
Right before you get to the bride. You're in the attic. And it's like playing Here Comes the Bride.
Yes, but I can't tell you for sure.
Did they add that or has that always been there? Because I don't pay that close attention, but I think that's a cooler like effect.
I mean, you see that in World's version, like in the library, like you see like the shadow, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I just don't pay attention.
Go back and look
the
at
organ
my
being
old
played.
videos to see
It's really bright though in Disneyland, like right before you get to the bride. It's on the same side as the bride, and I mean like maybe 5 feet before. The bride.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I was looking at it saying that's pretty cool, but I can't tell you if it was always there.
Yeah, same. I was riding with somebody, and they were right next to me, like, "Is that new?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. Like, it's cool." I was like, "But maybe it's been here since I don't know, like the '70s. I have no idea. Like, I don't pay attention."
Yeah, well,
I'm bad.
Really, and that really might be one of the effects of them just
they could have cleaned it
bringing
up.
New vibrancy to
exactly it. That's probably what it was. Just because I mean it's super bright, that like it's super sharp right now, like so maybe it just wasn't as clear because I was like, holy cow, that's awesome. Anyway,
sounds like I need to book a trip for the 70th.
Yeah, I think there's so much. I've never seen Paint the Night. I got to see it. And I want to see. I want to see Walt Disney. I want to see that Walt Disney animatronic in Lincoln in the Opera House. I got to see that too.
Yep. I'm gonna say that we have Magic Band Pluses, and most of it, they go off all the time, and it's like, why? I don't know why, but the one time it went off where I did know what the connection was coming out of the Haunted Mansion, and it was heartbeat flashing red on the magic band as you came out of the haunted mansion and up to Memento Mori.
That's pretty cool.
And that was, it's like, oh, I know what that one is.
See, I have a hot take on the Magic Bands Plus. I have 100% given up on charging them. I will wear it as a magic band, but I do not charge them anymore. They're just a pain in the rear.
Oh, I like them. I like charging. I like them.
I have not charged. I have not charged one for my last like 3 trips.
Oh man, I like those.
Because they still open the door and you can still charge stuff to them. You don't have to charge them for any of that stuff. But it's just
my favorite is that Phantasmic because it will like sync to like the music and everything. Like, oh man, it's so good.
I just forget all the time. Because the thing is, like, if it was something you had to charge every night, I would probably do it. Because like my Apple Watch, right? You got to do it every night. So like you have a routine. You put your phone, you put your Apple Watch, you put your AirPods. Because I have like a little stand that does all 3. Maybe I should just charge it every night. Maybe that's what
I do. I just bring one of those because it's like the one cradle cord or whatever. Yeah. And I charge mine one night, and then Liz is the next, and Emily's, and like usually like 2 to 3 days will like get you good. So I'm only charging one a night, so I don't have to bring like 3 cords. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just haven't done it. And plus, it was just.
I mean, it doesn't really change your experience.
It doesn't change it. It was vibrating too much at World for a while for me. Like it felt like every time I walked past something, it was bzz, 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 like for a while there. Like they had. Like
I like it though.
It was like constant, and you were running races like during the marathon. Like you'd be running through Epcot, and you'd be
you run by Figment.
Exactly.
I love that.
Like what?
What was odd to me was that, I'd say 70% of the time, my wife's and my band would, be going off at the same time. But sometimes hers would go and mine wouldn't. And sometimes mine would go and hers wouldn't. And I could, it's literally the biggest thing about it. I would like to know why they're going off and what they're thinking.
You have been chosen. You have not been chosen. You have, but you have not. That is funny. Good conversation, though.
Anyway.
Well, hey, Don, we appreciate you, bud. And glad you had, soggy but good trip. And maybe next time the sun will come out tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we're likely the sun will be out the next time we go. We're not scheduled for another trip until August of next year. So August, probably the sun will be too much. I'll be pining for the rain.
Well, let's hope it's just maybe partly cloudy. Let's go for that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we'll see you, Don. Do take care. Thanks for the call. Talk to you soon. Bye.
So speaking of the bands, I got to take on the bands. Absolutely love them though for Disney Cruise Line too. Because I mean I like wearing the Key to the World card like lanyard, but I don't like the new lanyards. Like they're cute.
I hate
it has like the Mickey ears, but it doesn't fit well.
Yes, it is cute, but it's cute as like a souvenir. It's not practical.
So we're using them for luggage tags now. Like it works really well as like a luggage tag.
That's a good idea.
What we're doing them for.
Like that. Yeah, because I'm looking at mine. It's so big and bulky, like that leathery.
So like this last
feel.
trip, Liz and I had our band, and Emily forgot hers. And like, she just kept saying like, "Gosh, I wish I had my band," instead of like having to dig my card out every time I open the stateroom or whatever. So, really love and encourage everyone to use those on cruise lines. They're so good.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Because they're called Disney Bands Plus for, they're the same thing. Mm-hmm. But though you got to know that you have to get a Disney Band Plus to work with the ships, which will work at World, but they don't work the other way. So you can't get a Magic Band Plus and expect it to work on the ships. It doesn't work that way. It only works.
This did though. Maybe I could be wrong.
They tell us that it doesn't. They tell us it doesn't. Now, did it? Maybe it does. That's what but Disney.
But maybe I have it backwards still. I don't know. But I thought she just got one of those like rose gold ones that I bought for World. But I don't know. It was working on the ship. But
did you have it from the Wish Cruise, from the podcast cruise?
It might have been. Maybe it was from the Wish Cruise that I got it from. Maybe I know mine was for sure because it was like the characters. Like it was actually a Wish Magic Band. I think I had. But yeah.
I mean, maybe I have that wrong.
Dude,
but
when
they
first
came out,
I love having that on the ship though so much.
Oh yeah, me too. Because it's just it's during the cruise. A lot of times you just don't want to have the lanyard around you. Like a lot of times, maybe you're going to Palo. You know what I'm saying? Right. And like you're dressed up. You don't want to be wearing a necklace.
Yeah. And I used to like. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I kind of said already. The lanyard is cute looking, like with the Mickey ears and everything. But
it's big.
It just isn't practical.
You're like Flavor Flav, man. Exactly.
Yeah. And especially if you're like a Walt Disney World person, like you're so used to like using your Magic Band for things, so it's like it's so easy. You just give them your Magic Band. Like if you're at the lounge or whatever, or in the shops, like it works so well.
Yeah, William says, my boys and I had Magic Bands on the cruise. We loved it. Jess didn't get a Magic Band. She regretted it as the cruise went on. Yeah, so, and the thing is, like I said, you can use it for World too. So I would get one for your cruise and then just use it for the next 3 years or so, or more. They last forever, and just make that your Magic Band.
Yeah, that's what Patty's saying. Yeah, so when we did the check-in, they did ask our bands, and they did like, how they had that little screen or whatever when they check you in at the port. They scanned our bands right then to kind of sync them up, I think. So you might be able to use a non.
Maybe that was, it could have been, maybe that was because early on, I know that they were,
right.
maybe that was also them.
It had to be, and it was certain ships. Like it was the Magic of Wonder didn't have it. And
the Wish, I think, started off first with the.
It did. That was one of our sailings, one of our podcast cruise sailings, I think, had it first.
Yeah, it was really fun. But yeah, those things, that is kind of a nice convenience to have. And the Magic Bands Plus do work. Okay, but I've always been careful because I have a Wish one now. I have a Treasure. I have like 3 Disney Bands Plus, and so I'm always like, got to use these. And I just now use those from like my World ones, but I still don't charge them. I need it. Maybe you got me going again that I need to start charging those again.
It's because I was trying to interaction stuff with it.
Well, because I was trying to charge everybody in the families, and it was just like.
That's why I think it lasts a couple days, so I don't think you have to do it every single night. Just charge one a night. Or just worry about your own. Like
that's it. I know. I know Mallory's 17, but the thing is, I always worry. I being a dad, you always have to be the czar of your family's power, consumption and preparation. I feel like. So there you go. Yeah. All right, let's see. Jason says, "Can't remember the last time I charged my band." Exactly, that's the thing. Like, yeah.
I mean that I have a process the night before I'm charging all the externals, like before we leave for the airport, and that's the only time I charge all 3 bands. Like, all right, I'm charging all. Actually, I'll charge 6 of them or whatever because we're bringing multiple each. But yeah,
so
I'm on team charge the band.
But okay, so now you just brought up another thing. So you'll use more than one Magic Band. So you have ones that match your
So when I go to Epcot, I always wear my Epcot band.
Oh my God, you're killing me. Okay,
when I go to Magic Kingdom, I wear like a Tiana band, or sometimes I wear a Flower and Garden band.
Yes, you do.
So I bring 3 or 4 depending on my outfits and stuff.
I love this. Okay, now we're taking it to a whole nother level because
I do.
Because so we went on the preview cruise for the Treasure, right? They gave us one for that one. So I'll wear that one until it wears out because it was like a special one. Like they only gave it to us. So I'll wear that. But when the media thing for Toy Story Land, when I got invited to the preview, I wore that one for 5 years. I mean, that was 2018. I wore that sucker till it wore out.
See, I have bands that are still sealed because they were one of 500 or one of 1,000. So I have this great mouse detective band that is just still sitting in the package. I'll never take it out because it's a rare one.
That sounds super cool.
And things like that. I have a Flower and Garden one. I think that was a one of 250, and I just keep it. I love Magic Bands, man. I got a problem, but what though? I just keep them in the box.
I just thought of this. Magic Bands would be something super cool to display. Because they're very
in a trophy case.
Yes, because I mean they're not huge, right? They're not huge. They're all uniform sized, and on a shelf behind you or something with really good lighting.
Yeah.
Magic Bands would be. Oh my God! I just thought of something that you could totally but I mean they're expensive. They're for what you're getting. They're because what do they start at now? $35 or something?
Yeah, something like that. And some of those specialty ones are maybe in the 40s.
But yeah, I mean, okay. I know we got to go because we're over the top of the hour, but. Let's go back in time. Let's take a step back in time to maybe 10 years ago. How many Magic Bands do you think you have owned in your life? Because remember, we got one free. Now, for all the new people that don't know this, all the newcomers here, back in the day, you used to get a free Magic Band for every person on the reservation. So every person on your reservation got a free Magic Band for every reservation. So a lot of times when Scott and I would go down, we do a triple split stay because a lot of times we go we do maybe a hotel stay before a cruise and after a cruise, and maybe one of those times we do a split stay before. We do a Riverside and Coronado split stay before, then a cruise, and then go somewhere after. So we'd have 3 stays. 4 of us in our family. We'd have so many Magic Bands.
And you get the annual pass holder band too.
Yes, that's another thing. You go in as an AP holder. So we would constantly be getting Magic Bands in the mail, at these boxes. You remember that? I mean, I
I had to have
literally had
100 in my
hundreds.
house. I have them all in like a wicker basket. Like I can find them. There's so many yellow, greens, and blues and oranges. Like I have so many of them with like weird names because you would like customize them.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I had like Dopey 18,
Yes,
Dopey 19,
yes.
or whatever.
So I'll look for that picture too, because I used to put them on this big mic boom that I use here, like
I
the whole
remember
mic
that.
boom,
Yes.
the old house. I mean, it wasn't even like it was probably a quarter of the magic bands, but they were just, Pam was like, do something with these things. They're everywhere. So I covered the mic boom, and this is a big mic boom with just magic bands that were sitting around. I was like, well, here's some of them. But I mean, it was crazy. And the thing was, if you ever had a problem with your magic band, you had to go down to the check-in desk, and like they were trying to fix your magic band that you had on. They'd pull up your profile and they'd say, sir, you have 178 active magic bands. And they're trying to find the one that like you're trying to get fixed. They would scold you. And I'm like, they just keep mailing them to me because they mail them to you active, so like you would have to go in manually and deactivate them one by one. But I mean,
Yeah, I eventually, pretty recently, I've had some serious magic band issues. So after a trip, I just went home into all 3 profiles and just deactivated all of them. So now before a trip, because I like to switch them out, Mike, as I just said, I'll go in and activate certain ones before a trip to come home and deactivate.
that's a good idea. Yeah, magic bands back in the
day.
day.
I gotta find I think we used our old ones like as garland ones for like the mantle.
Yes.
or the tree.
A lot of people did that back in the day because I mean that was like a thing probably 10 years ago. People would have them on their Christmas trees as like the garland because they were the perfect size. Because they've gotten thicker and heavier because with the technology now, with the chips and all that stuff, the charging cradle and stuff.
We might have did a countdown too, like where we just had them all and then you removed one a day until like
so
the next
ridiculous.
Trip.
That's so.
There's so many of those.
Like I think there was even a program where you could take them in like on your like when you checked in at the hotel. You could take your old magic bands, and I think they would recycle them. I think that was true. Man. Was that not the case? Like
I don't know.
They
I never did,
or something?
I should have done it. I have so many.
Oh my gosh! So yeah,
I love the new designs. They're so great. But yeah, to your point, they can add up, man. Like,
oh my gosh.
I'm the same way with pins. Like, I have so many like specialty pins right here next to me that I'm just a sucker for them.
But they mailed those out for free forever.
I know.
Like, I mean, and now they're charging like $40 a pop.
I just think of like all the like. The cardboard and like resources used for them too. Like,
and it had to been at least, I mean, I don't know what mailing costs, but I mean, it was probably at least $10 for that box to mail every time.
It was crazy. Everyone that booked and then I guess and then if you didn't book it, like you'd go there and you'd see at the check-in desk all these magic bands. They'd all be the gray ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Like if you had a gray one, it was like, oh, sorry.
They didn't follow the assignment.
Because like I remember one time, like I think I like forgot a magic, like I had like 7,000 at home, but like I totally forgot to bring one or something. And they're like, sir, we can give you a magic band. And they bring me out a gray one. I'm like, oh.
And it just has the serial number.
Exactly.
Personalized on it. Like,
I can't walk around with a gray one.
That's the walk of shame magic
exactly.
band.
I'm like,
right
you're going to make me walk around Walt Disney World with a gray magic band? Are you kidding me?
You pay for a meal at ABC Commissary, they take your band, they're like, oh, you're one of those.
Like, dude, you are not getting the sauce with your buffalo grilled chicken sandwich. You're just getting
when you get up for a refill, we will make sure we clean that table, sir.
These are the days when Walt Disney World was great.
It's still great.
I know, it's still great.
It's fun to reminisce, man.
I totally forgot about the gray band. That was such a moment. Oh,
but they would just have stacks of them behind the front desk. And they're all gray.
Dude, I seriously remember, like, I did not want a gray band so bad. I was so terrible that I was that way, but I did not want a gray band. And the funniest thing was the first ever, like, customized band I ever saw, because they were just solid colors, right? You had, like, your reds, your oranges, and yellows and stuff. But the first one I ever saw that had a design on it was when I went down for the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train media event. They gave us one, and it just had like it said Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and had like a little dopey or something on it, and I was like, oh, it's got writing on it. But it was awesome. But here's the thing, it was gray. So like I was like, this is the coolest magic band ever. So like, of course I was gonna wear it, right? Because I'm like baller. I'm walking around the park like I'm the only one in the world that's got a customized magic band. But then, like, half of me was like, everybody's going to see me walk around with a gray magic band. Because you couldn't really tell.
It was all those people that didn't want the gray band behind the desk, so they put a graphic
That's exactly.
on
They had
them
a
all.
million of
recycled
them. They had a million of them. So they just went stamp.
Yeah, they just put a stamp on them. They won't find use for these things.
Oh my gosh, those are the good old days.
I remember when the black one came out. That was a huge thing too, because they had all
Yes.
those colors, but they did not
Yes.
have black. And it was like, I think it was supposed to be like the Darth Vader collection or something. Like it was crazy.
That black one was cool. Pam wanted that
I have
one
a black
bad.
one too.
Yeah, Pam wanted that
But
one
then
too.
Steve was really into the pucks. Remember, Steve would always like so he had like
Yes.
his Pittsburgh one, like
Yep.
the black and yellow one.
Yeah, because when you could like take the puck out and put it in a different color, like mismatch kind of thing.
See, I never got that deep with it, but
Yeah.
Steve sure did, man. Steve and Hannah, they loved
Yes.
changing those.
Yes, totally. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
this is so
man.
fun. Anyway,
So much fun talking about magic bands, man. I love
it's
it.
so fun. All right.
Who knew we were going to go down
I
that
know.
path today?
Hey, we can talk about anything. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We'll be back again this week. We're gonna have some fun talking cruising. We're gonna talk Walt Disney World. We're gonna have a great time. So join us for all the fun. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get to your favorite places: Walt Disney World, Disneyland, sailing with the Disney Cruise Line. No additional cost to you for our great services. So check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to our Patreon supporters. You guys make all this possible. You allow us to do the call-in show. You allow us to do all the video feeds. We cannot thank you enough for that. $5 a month is all it takes, and you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you at patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Now, here's where we want to see you. We have fun every day, all day. We talk Disney mostly, but life, just everything, all the time. It's in the clubhouse. It's our Discord channel. It's simple to get to, beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. Come on over. We'll welcome you. We'll say, hey, we're all there all the time. So come on over this week with it's like a live chat going on all the time. So come on over and join us there. Give Scott a follow on the social media at @Epscott, EPSCOT. But more importantly, must see adventures on YouTube. Those are all the videos you need to check out. It's a great vlog. Scott, what's going on? I know you've been doing a lot of editing over the past week. What's going on?
Yeah, so I just posted a new video of it's kind of a weird video. It's like a souvenir haul from our European cruise, so in Disneyland Paris. So it's like 6 minutes of navigating the Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, and then 30 minutes of going through our souvenirs. So kind of fun. Maybe it gives you some ideas of things you like to get. Maybe you can find out how many Starbucks mugs we got.
There you go.
You know,
You are the
there we go with
Starbucks people, the Starbucks mugs people.
yeah, dude, I gotta figure out what to do with all these mugs, though, man. We are running out of space for these mugs. But yeah, so I put a poll out there, Mike. Like, what do you guys want to see next? So I got a backlog of content. People want to see the Thanksgiving Walt Disney World trip we did a few months ago. So I started editing that, and I hope to have that first episode out this week. Excited to start sharing it.
Sponsored by the National Golf Cart Association.
There's gonna be a lot of golf cart driving in this series for sure. A lot of looping going on.
Yes. So check that out again. Must See Adventures. And there's actually a channel on the Clubhouse now for Must See Adventures. So if you ever want to talk about the videos, have suggestions for the videos, that's your place. Just hang out there. Come over to Must See Adventures in the Clubhouse. We got a channel there to talk about it all the time. It's gonna be fun. Also, I'm on the social media as well. Be Our Guest Mike, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, all those places. And next Sunday night, just to get a little heads up, no live call-in show next Sunday night. I know it stinks. I want to do it, but Mallory has cheer state championships in Springfield, Missouri. On Sunday, they perform at 3:35, and it's a 4-hour drive down to Springfield. So unless I have like a bullet train, there's no way to get back. And so we are going to be down there cheering on the Francis Howell Viking cheerleaders to a state championship next Sunday evening. So we will not have a live call-in show next week. So we'll be missing that, but we'll have all the shows. So other than the live call-in shows, we're going to take a week off next Sunday night, but we'll have all the weekly shows. All
Good
right.
timing for that. As William was like, "Hey, I'm going to call in next week."
Well, yeah, sorry.
Or the week after that. We got you the week after
the next week. And then here, so one last thing. We've been talking about this a lot. We're going to have the 6-hour live call-in show from Give Kids the World. That's on March 8th. It's a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So put that on your calendar. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on March 8th. And we're raising money for Give Kids the World. Last year, we raised $50,000 for the families at Give Kids the World. Hoping to do that again. We're going to have lots of auction items, so many Disney items, some sports memorabilia, We're going to have interviews throughout the show. We'll be taking your calls. It's just like this. Ricky and Pam will be there as well. We're going to have just a ton of fun for 6 hours straight. So that weekend, you get 6 hours of live show instead of 1. So we'll make up for it. So that's coming your way on March 8th, a Saturday morning / afternoon. So please do join us. Take us with you on your phone or wherever you're going throughout the day. And please put aside a little bit of money to donate to the great families at Give Kids the World. Again, March 8th, 10 to 4 Eastern, as we're all live from Give Kids the World. All right, we're going to get out of here and see you on the shows this week. So for Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.